Welcome back.
Hey y'all.
What's up, everyone? What's good, questionnaires? You know the voice.
It was still everybody.
You know the voice. It's me, Julian. My name today, Mr. Nobody. And if you recognize the really familiar voice, the Miss Unperceived Tyler's there.
Unperceived in the house.
Unperceived. And as you can see, we're laughing already. It's a silly, sour day. We're gonna have a great time.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. There are two things I should also mention before things get super out of hand, probably because of me. One,
yeah.
This is the last episode of season 4. So great time to have Tyler be perceived for
Woohoo! Yeah.
And yes, and with everything that's going on in the world, I don't know if that's how I want to put it, but I want to dedicate this episode to Reverend Jessie Jackson. That's why the title will be I Am Somebody. Hopefully we do him justice. But with that said, Tyler, how was your last 7-ish days?
we're laughing because we both know as a co-host, now previous co-host, I will have to give you basically a life update. So, oh my gosh, I was gonna say no. You should probably start, and then I'll do.
All right,
I'll do my thing. Cause mine's gonna be long. I already know. I'm trying to shorten it in my head. I'm not gonna be talking to y'all all day about my life.
Okay. Well, my 7-ish days, you can get like the last month and a half for me, but all right. So last 7-ish. Let's see. What were the big highlights? So earlier today, I was doing my martial arts, my cardio kickboxing, getting back into it, and I actually feel good because one, I know the people there, and then two, the instructors like giving us things to do. Not only am I the first one to finish, but I'm like, I could do more. So I'm like, he's like, let's just do example. Just do 30, like 3 sets of 30 sit-ups or something, right? I do that real fast. I'm gonna do 2 more. Like I'm so I'm like, all right, cool. I feel good about that. Especially for not being super active for like a year.
Real.
Plus. What else? Oh, I was on another forest fire.
Oh wow.
Last Saturday. That's kind of cool. It was more tedious than the first time, where I was truly just. It happened on a Saturday, and it was truly a 12-hour day. I got in at 7, left at 7:30. My commute is an hour and a half. It was a full day experience. Just
that's basically how long like my ride is from work to like an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, so
on a good day.
No, on a good day of coming back, it's hour and 30 minutes. On a bad day, it's 2 hours. So
exactly.
Not a fan about that. But it was just having like a tool in one hand, holding 5 gallons of gasoline in the other hand, with 45-ish pounds on my back, and just walking.
Wow.
So no, it was a very active day, but I really did enjoy it for sure. And then the last thing I'm going to mention that I can think of off the top of my head. So condensing everything, I'm shipping some things out to my cousin because he needed to move across the country.
Yeah.
And he's holding some stuff in my apartment. And I'm like, oh, last week I was sending things to him. And he needed to kind of rush out, so nothing was really packed. I put everything in the box the way he put it in. And I get to the UPS, and it's a big box. I think it was like 100 pounds, or like 100 pounds. I needed another person to just lift it up because it was just that big.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, yeah, can we just send this across the country? He's like, this box is not gonna make it. The box is already breaking. It was already falling apart in my closet. So I'm like, okay. I had to buy 3 other boxes, to ship it all to him and everything. And I think I'm good. And there's a lot of loose material there. Like there's like a PlayStation, Xbox, paintings, like there's all and like jewelry and stuff like
Oh,
that.
that does
So
not sound good.
yeah, so I'm really trying to get all of his stuff to him.
Yeah. You got
Um,
the bubble wrap.
yeah, I got the bubble wrap and everything. And the person, the UPS worker was like, "This, he's like, you didn't want us to like pack it." Like, hey, I'm just the delivery person. Like,
They
I'm
really
doing.
could have packed it for you, though. They do pack stuff and ship it.
Look, I'm just doing what
Like
he told me to do for the most part. That way,
part
he's
of
not
their
coming back home.
service.
That way, he's not coming back at me saying like, what are you doing? Like, I'm like, hey, I did what you wanted. Like, you don't.
Right.
So bought the 3 boxes. Mind you, didn't ask him because I'm like, I want him to get his stuff, and they already gave me the warning. This box is not going to make it.
Oh gosh.
So I'm like, all right, let me get the 3 boxes and just pay whatever, right?
Mhm.
And he sends me a text message this past Thursday, and he's like, he texts me, he's like, hey, did you get a notification that the pack? I'm like, no, but it's like, you should have got it, right? It's like, yeah, I got it. The boxes are like 2 of the 3 boxes are destroyed. Like there's
Good
holes in
God.
them. I'm
What
I'm
are they
so
doing to them
sorry.
packages?
It is. I have no idea, but I'm like it's ripped down like a giant hole down the seam, and he's like, yeah, there's like $400 worth of like jewelry that's missing. I'm like, I am so sorry.
But you know, our mailing system is turning into a real shit show on purpose. But like,
Yeah,
I'm like, oof.
yeah. So look, I feel so bad for it, but I'm like, I did it the best I could do to get him all of his stuff intact. So,
Right.
but yeah, so actually after this, I'm going to go to UPS and see if I can at least get reimbursed something,
Right.
just so I can either send it to him or just figure out how he wants to go about it. But yeah, that's my last 7-ish days.
Well, I'm sorry his packages got stolen. But at least you still have a really cool job.
That's true, and they didn't even get stolen. Because it got delivered to him. It's just the boxes were destroyed. Like imagine a arm size hole in a box on the side.
I'm like,
It's just a beat up box.
they don't care about none of that.
Yeah, it's truly like if someone hit it with a bat, like it was like a pinata.
Wow.
I'll do what I can with that, but we'll see. But what about you, Unperceived?
Okay, I guess I'll like I don't know where I want to start, but I guess like this year I've really been trying to like focus on like me more. 3 months in, I'm doing the best I can with what I got. I did get a massage the other month, so that was really good. But
Go.
I feel really it's been really good though because my dad like his health is improving. So that's also freed up like a lot more of my time to like focus on me again and like I've had a primary care doctor since I graduated grad school. So I have not had like a checkup in like 4 years. So I finally have a primary care appointment in April. Whoop whoop.
Let's go. Get checked out.
And like I feel like I could feel it. Like I just got an updated flu shot like 3 days ago, and I was just like, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna re-up my measles because the measles is out here. Get COVID shot, all the good things. And get myself like a full checkup because I mean the body is tired. Like you were saying, like I also like I already didn't have like a workout routine, and then on top of that I was like taking care of him, so like my health is becoming like a really big priority this year. And then I'm finally like cooking again because I'm in a better apartment. So I'm really just, I'm really focused on me. And like, I guess it also like ties into what people probably want to hear. But like, why I'm not like co-hosting for the podcast anymore. I really have to like focus on myself because I mean it's been real tough like the stuff, like caregiving is hard at any age, but 9 times out of 10 people end up like 40 or plus having these issues. Like a lot of the people will be like, "Oh man, I get exactly what you're talking about." They're like 40 years old with like kids in middle school, and I'm just like, okay. like, like at least you have like an established career.
Yeah.
And it honestly, like, as I've been engaging with different people who have been doing different levels of caregiving, like, there's people of all ages going through it at any given time, and like you don't really hear about it unless you seek it out. So it's very much like not in your face, and it's so funny because it's more inevitable than parenting is in a lot of in my opinion. Like you can, choose to live a child-free life and all that other stuff, but you just never know when you're going to end up having to take care of somebody else. It's not impossible to plan for, but sometimes it's very hard to kind of like try to plan ahead of time for. And you have to take like really good care of yourself, and we're not really in a society that's built for you to focus on yourself. It's to focus on production and what you can do and all this other stuff, instead of being like, hey, am I healthy? Like, do I like myself mentally? Like, you gotta think about those. Like, you gotta get
True.
the dark thoughts do be circling. I feel like caregiving gives you pretty dark thoughts. It's just saying, just
No.
PSA to people. So,
Even though we've been talking about this, I didn't even realize that my aunt is technically doing that. Well, my aunt and my dad is doing that for my grandfather because he's 80. He's 89, turning 90 this year. So, yeah. So yeah, no. When you say it comes at any age, yeah, it kind of sneaks up on you.
yeah. And it's like kind of crazy because if you don't really have like people to kind of guide you through the process, it can be hard. But yeah, like you were saying, like it happens at any age, anytime. You're either ready for it or you're not. It's coming regardless. Like I even had a boss talk to me, like not even like my direct boss. He's like like he's kind of high up in my job, but they all know like what I've been going through because I've been very transparent about it. And he was like, because I was telling him like I was simplifying my dad's life recently, because now he's a little better like physically, so we're able to kind of take the time to do what we need to do for him now. And he was like, "Oh, well, how are you doing that?" Because his mother has dementia, so it's just like, and you never know, like life was coming at him fast, so it's like hard. It's a journey. So but I'm excited and really taking this time to just kind of like reflect and also like figure out what life looks like for me now. Like now that I've had something like kind of life changing happen, it's almost like you have to almost like reset all your vision boards. That's what I meant. I'm resetting my vision boards right now. So, I need time to focus on me, so not co-hosting.
Yeah, and I will also say, just to put it on record, I definitely support you for whatever you do. I completely understand uh, life and everything you're going
Yeah.
through, and wanting to focus on yourself. I've always been a big supporter of you focusing on yourself. Just being here, I'm like, hey, your life is more important than this. So definitely,
Yeah. And you
always
always,
helping.
and I was gonna say, you always have been though. You've always been really, really supportive of like stuff that I have going on, and we have a really like transparent. We have big transparency, so it's kind of like if it was up, I was gonna tell you it was up, and I'm not showing up. Like, and he would just be like, "Okay, that's chill." Like you were rolling with the punches, and I appreciate that. So,
Look, I got to, because we can both be throwing in some randoms like surprise.
yeah, yeah, definitely. It was crazy. It's been crazy, crazy times out here, but I think we're calming down, and also I could be calmer.
Yeah, But no,
Oh
we really do
gosh.
appreciate you for doing all of this. And like you said, this isn't your last episode. It's just no longer a co-host. And should
Yeah.
we also mean that also means you're not going to be in the background either, or like you're,
Yeah.
yep. So
I'm just a guest, just one of the rotating guests at this point now.
she's the rotating redliner. Oh, I was going to call you. Well, if you
Rotating.
listen.
Ooh, rotating redliner. That's good though.
With that said, it was people are here for the
Yeah.
main reason of to hear the question. Tyler, you got a dibs question. What is the dibs?
I know. I was so excited. It was oh my gosh, what is it? Is it hard to have courage?
Yeah, that's it. It's hard to be.
Yes, I did it. I did it, you guys. I remembered.
I was
I was really
surprised.
scared. I'm glad that both of us were also like, I don't know if I know. It's very yes.
But who? Actually, no. I'll let you start.
I feel like okay, this question I would have answered it differently at a different time in my life. Like beforehand, when I was younger, I'd be like, it's not even hard to have courage because I used to just do stuff. Like I definitely used to be one of those people where I'd just be like, I'm just gonna do it. I don't care. Very much like that. And then life was started like beating me up, and I was like, whoa, I don't think I could just do it anymore. So which is that part was tough for me. Like I've always been the kind of person who just kind of dives head first into like stuff, and I'm just like, I don't really care how this is gonna work out. If I want to do it, I'm gonna just do it. But I've also feel like because as you get older, you have more responsibilities and stuff. It makes you feel really limited, and that can be hard. Like, yeah, I want to just do it, but like also I have another person that I have to think about. And I'm taking care of now,
You
and
got bills to
that
pay.
I have, job to answer to, so I can pay said bills. And then the government want my taxes. What are they doing with it? Only the Lord could tell you. But like it's hard, and I think honestly even now, like right now with all the things going on in the world, like my friend, she was supporting me a lot through the last year or so with all the stuff going on, and she invited me to like her Bible studies. I've been going to that. I went to it Thursday night, and we were all just kind of talking about how like it's tough to stay encouraged. Like even just staying encouraged, like not even using the courage per se, but just trying to keep your motivation up so you can get, you can express what you need to express or do what you need to do. It's tough. There's like all this stuff going on in the world and stuff, and it really makes people feel disempowered.
No, absolutely. And I think my answer is always, I think in a general sense, courage, yes, just doing a courageous thing in that split second moment, outside looking in, is easy. But when you factor in everything that's going around, it is actually very hard because that's why people say they need liquid courage just to do whatever, which is sometimes a good thing, sometimes a bad thing,
Right.
but just doing the act itself. Because I know for me, I'm also I'm just gonna do it type of person, but
Yeah.
the mental behind some things, I kind of have to psych myself up to do certain things
Yeah.
because, like, literally, I have a mentor at work and everything, right? And you would think it'd be easy for me just to call him and just say whatever, like, but I'm looking at my phone like, do I call him now? Am I gonna like bother him? Something else is like, am I calling too much? So there's just certain things that like really try to weigh me down, and I know it's self-inflicting,
Yeah.
but still something that you have to get over.
Right.
just to do an act because and then off and I've also mentioned that I'm also doing dating apps and everything, just trying to put myself out there. And but even with that,
That's courage
I
too.
because I truly try not to be the person who's like, oh, I need something in my system to do X thing.
Yeah.
So I've definitely went out my way to try to ask someone out while they're working on multiple occasions. When I'm not looking,
Crazy.
when I'm not looking my best, but just trying to do it because I know the saying is the worst they can say is no. Um, yes, but I like
Yeah.
to I like to come up with a crazy example. It's like, no, you can be on a list. They can lie on your name. So
Right. That's true. That's true.
yeah, so it is definitely not an easy thing to have courage whatsoever. So shout out to everyone who finds courage
Yeah.
in the small moments.
I mean, what I feel like is harder maybe than the act of courage itself, because I feel like you were saying, once you're doing it, you basically can't stop. It just kind of keeps going after you're in it. But like, I think the harder part is like like keeping that vision. Do you know what I mean? For example, like, how do you have courage to, like, let's say leave a job, because we were talking about this earlier, okay? But like, some people, they feel like, okay, there's no better job out there, and so it's not even about courage. It's like, do you think, or can you see yourself like being somewhere better than where you're at right now? And
Mm,
some people, they don't even have the vision to have that courage. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
I see it.
I think it's harder not to say like, oh, do you have the courage to XYZ? It's harder to be like, do you envision yourself as the person who's going to be in that better situation, or that courageous
Mm,
person, or whatever? Like, it's, I think that's what's frustrating. I think the harder part is, do you see yourself as a courageous person in that part of your life?
mm, I like that. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
huh. Yeah, I'm thinking about it, and the thought that crossed my mind, um, what is it? It's something about, again, I see it all the time. It's like fear and faith have kind of like
Yeah.
rely on the same thing. So, but again, just seeing a vision. Yeah, no, that I never even thought about that. Is you have to kind of see yourself doing what you want or striving to. Yeah, it's just striving to what you want in life, which isn't always taught.
Exactly. Like, it was, well, I guess I think about it a lot because, like, especially now with my life looking a lot different than I
Mm,
expected it to. I was definitely one of those people, like, I was just like, I have a vision for like what I want to do with my life. I'm gonna go straight for it. I did, like, you know what I mean?
no, no,
In a lot
that's
of
good.
ways,
That's
right? You know what I
really
mean?
good.
Straight path. But then, like, that's what I'm saying, like with my dad and the caregiving thing, it kind of like knocked me off the path a lot
Hmm.
more, or made the path a lot less,
More challenging.
like, well, just more, it was more unexpected
Mm,
than I really felt. Like, you know, who would have been like, oh, by the age of like 23, I'll understand that I probably need to take care of my dad for the rest of my life. Like, you know, that's not something you think about at 13 when you're thinking about what your job's gonna look like. You're not like, oh, I think, like, things will happen that will put me in like a crazy situation. Like, how do you, I think that's also really hard. Like, having the courage to look at your path and go, maybe it doesn't even look like what I thought it was
mm.
going to look like. And I think sometimes people, like, I was even watching, oh my gosh, this is gonna sound so crazy, but I've been watching like Love Is Blind. Okay, so the
Okay.
most recent season of Love Is Blind. Stay with me. And this guy, he is like, he was supposed to go like pro in soccer or whatever. It's like a really big thing. He talks like he's in an interview like the whole time he's on the show. It's kind of crazy. So,
Mm,
anyways, but I watch like therapist react videos and stuff like that where people are pretty, they tend to lean more into the benefit of doubt than not. Like when it comes to people who are, really putting themselves out there on an edited reality TV show. Like if any of us were edited, like first of all, the courage it takes to be on an edited show. Like you really have to be comfortable with the fact that at some point you might end up being the villain. So like you're like, you think you're a great person? If all these other people are greater than you or whatever, like boom, villain edit. But anyway, like it was making me think about him because they were saying like there's a lot of people who, they wanted to go pro and all this other stuff, and then it doesn't happen, and they like don't know what to do with themselves afterward. Like he was like, yeah, I was literally a nomad, and for him, he felt like his exploration of himself was like traveling. So like he didn't have roots anywhere. He was basically living like a nomadic lifestyle. And I find that so interesting. Like, did he think he was going to live a nomadic lifestyle for his life? Probably not. He thought he was going to be he was going to be on a soccer team with his model girlfriend living in Italy or something. That's probably what his vision of his life was. And like really, and then also your vision for your life is very much impacted by like the instances like that you grew up around, like who you saw. Because I even had this conversation recently, like with my aunt. She was like, because she's the only person who really isn't doing anything that's kind of like, my other aunts, they're like a social worker or like work at the bank or like, or my grandma and my mom were like insurance people. Like they worked at the insurance company. Like, you know what I mean? Like very much like, the kind of jobs that people kind of know are out there. And then my aunt like does Broadway. I had to be like, well, how the heck, you know what I mean? But like, you really have to have like a vision. Like either there's something within you that's telling you, like, hey, I need to be doing something else, and that was her. But like, if you don't have people around you like encouraging that, you're gonna feel you feel like the oddball. You know what I mean? And then it makes you feel like, oh well, maybe I'm doing too much. And so it's like even having the courage to challenge what you've grown up around is really hard.
Yeah, no, that's actually funny you bring that up because I was thinking about this and how you mentioned that like the dude from Love and Blind is the villain, and I was thinking I honestly think villains, right or wrong, is not the what I'm discussing right here, but villains actually have probably the most amount of courage to do what they want because and going off of just your point of just being that odd person out and still sticking to what you do. I will say my brother actually does that, even though it's um, it's I want to say not difficult's not the right word, but it's just like what you're talking about because he's doing what he likes to do, which is working in a library. Nothing wrong with working in a library, but I know that's not a dream job people think about. There's like worries about how are you going to do X, Y, and Z in life. So I know some of my family is trying to like, hey, you can step up. We want more from you, but I know he's doing what he wants and what he enjoys. So it's definitely a hard thing for sure.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes I I don't like when that happens, only just because like we need librarians. Like libraries are a unique and very special like public good that people get like free classes to learn different skills. You could do like different art things. Like it's part of a community. It's a really big part of like building community in different like cities and all that other stuff. Like, like I grew up going to the library when I was a kid, and it was like a safe place. Sometimes you see a homeless guy washing up in the bathroom, but that's just what it is. You live in a city, you gonna see homeless people. Housing's not free.
Yeah,
So
life is
I'm
hard.
like, if it makes you uncomfortable that housing isn't free, maybe you should get somebody in a house. That's all I had to say. If you're
Mm.
uncomfortable with the unhoused, guess what? Buy them a house or something. Don't tell them to disappear. They need to wash. Like
That's true.
really?
That's
So
very true.
make it
So,
free then. Like what the heck?
so with that, I want to ask you, what's the most courageous thing you think you've done so far?
Ooh, ooh, that's a tough question. If you ask anybody, I feel like if you ask a bunch of different people who have ever met me out in life, they would probably say so many different things. Like I feel like most of the things that I do are like people are like what?
Mm,
But for me, I feel like my most courageous thing that I've done, which is actually so funny, like I feel like I've gone through this like almost in front of the podcast in a way, is
mm.
go from like unperceived in one way to another way. Like when I first started this, unperceived for me was like, oh my gosh, like I cannot be on a camera saying my opinions for public records on the internet. like
Rule number one:
when
don't put yourself on the internet.
why would I put myself on the internet? I hate that. but like what's so funny about it is it almost was like the start of this journey of me just really being like, okay, well heck, if I'm just like myself everywhere, what is my life gonna look like? And honestly, my life crumbled the hell apart. I was like, actually, I would like to create my own life, and I definitely ended up like the villain in some people's stories. I feel that. I know it. I don't care.
I know I'm the villain in some people's stories.
Yeah. So I'm like, at this point, it's like, unperceived has now become like, unperceived in the sense that like, yeah, you probably perceive me however you want to, but like your perception doesn't actually matter because I'm happy with myself. Like when I look at myself, I've done a lot of work. Like I've went to therapy for like as long as I haven't had a primary care doctor, I've had a therapist. I've been a therapist for
Hey,
like
one
five
or
plus
the
years
other.
now. Right at this point, I was like, if the body going to hell, the mental can't go to hell too. That's just a recipe for chaos. Chaos for
Mm.
me. And that's why I was really big on therapists at one point because I was like, y'all, I have no other doctor but a therapist. But also, my insurance makes that like the cheapest doctor for me to have. The sessions are only $10. Okay,
You can't beat
so I'm
$10.
like, hey, if it's $10 and they paying it, I'm going because these jobs be messing with my mental bad. like this, like I could get stressed out for benefits. Then guess what? I'm using the benefits. So, like what? So yeah, no. I feel like the most courageous thing I've done is really just kind of like shed this thought of like, oh my gosh, like what are people going to think about me if I do XYZ? And I really have broken it open in like so many different ways cuz like even like at one point, I was sort of like what are my parents going to think if XYZ happens? What our partner's going to think when I do certain things? What our friends going to think? I like all the things. And then honestly like this is going to sound so crazy, but you know, I was in a 7-year long relationship and broke it up. So I had a lot of different thoughts about how people would perceive me after I did that. And
Mm.
I was just like, you know what? At the end of the day, I made that decision for myself. You know what I mean? And that was also like, and after that, who cares? I'm
Yeah.
living my life for me now. like, like who cares? I can't even focus on nothing else at that point. I just want to make sure I really feel like now I just feel like I'm really focused on making sure like every day I'm doing what's right for myself because who do you have to come home to and feel good about at the end of the day when all the chips are down and everything's
Mm.
out and it's just you in a mirror yourself. It don't matter what nobody else thinks about you. Like when you look in that freaking mirror at night, how do you feel about yourself? Period. You know?
Yeah. funny that you meant, because again, how you were saying, like, you have to come back home to yourself, and that's why I'm like, villains have the most courage, because it's like, I don't care what people think. Again, not, yes, cartoon Disney villain, yes, bad people, yes, but on a more human aspect of things, you're going to be the villain in someone's eyes, because with your relationship, I personally was like, I don't know about this situation, but I'm not around. I'm not choosing a side. But if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. That, and who am I to say anything about it? But for me, I think the most courageous thing I've done happened twice. Is usually one, going to college, in the sense of I went 8 hours away, from where I lived, so with not really any family, which was a small dose of me moving to Atlanta, where I really was on my own.
Yeah.
Didn't uh, and because I was moved to a city that I had no friends or family to. All my friends uh were like everywhere else, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Granted, it was under the impression that I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna be out here for a year, go back and figure something else out. But what ended up happening was I moved to Atlanta. That was supposed to be 6 months. 6 months
Yeah.
turned into a year. Year turned into, how long have I been here now? 4 years now. Just
Yeah.
living
You've been
by
here a while.
no roommate. I'm glad my sister's here, just have that, but I really had no support, or at least no immediate support, coming
Yeah.
out here, and I really do appreciate where my life is heading, with this move, because I'm discovering a lot more about myself than I probably would have if I stayed or had a safety net.
Right.
Or yeah,
That's
like a
so
immediate
real.
immediate safety net.
Yeah. You know what's crazy though? I literally lived by myself for like 2 years in Illinois, and I didn't say that as my most courageous. That's what I'm saying. Like perceptions of courage are like actually so crazy. Okay. I was also thinking about like that how is it courageous to be the villain? But I also think like in a lot of ways um what some people perceive as like, oh my gosh, you're being a villain or whatever, other people see it as like really empowering.
Mm.
And I also find issue with that sometimes.
It's a thin line. It's a thin line for sure.
I have also had moments where people have encouraged things within me and seen it as like a good thing that I didn't like about myself. You know what I mean?
Really, like,
Like as that's happened before. So that's why I don't even put like thoughts into what people champion or don't or whatever, because I just don't think that is true to like how you show up. Because I mean, like, like my like at one point, what was encouraged? Like even okay, but only cuz like it's the most relevant example I
mm,
have. Like my like okay, post breakup my
mm,
dad was like, "Yeah, you did it, and you did X, Y, Z or whatever," and I was just like, "Bro, please stop." Like
okay,
what you're encouraging me about is not what I took from this as my most
okay,
encouraging point. You know what I
gotcha.
mean? When you get like an A and something like like people used to encourage like math and science in me a lot, but I really don't care. like like you
Okay.
know what I mean? It's just like okay.
It,
Like
mm,
I'm like I feel I cuz a lot of times, and I also feel like maybe that's because of like golden childness or whatever. I feel like I'm so used to getting praise for things that I really at the end of the day don't care or like value over everything else.
okay.
Like I don't care about good grades. I care about learning. Like for me, I
Mm,
enjoy the process of like learning. If someone's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so like it's so cool that you like learned this new skill that you're excited about." Then that's encouraging to me. More so than like, "Oh, you like got your degree or whatever. Like, it is, now mind you, it is an accomplishment. I'm not downing anybody's accomplishments and stuff like that. But I'm saying, like, just the way in which people encourage you, what exactly is encouraging to them. You can't control that either. That is totally a perception of theirs of how they want to encourage you. And sometimes it doesn't really reflect what you want encouraged in yourself. And I feel like, yeah. So that's why I also feel like, me on the unperceived train, it doesn't matter whether you get praise or hate. It just matters, like, what you think about yourself. And that takes a lot of courage, too, because there's so many people out here with so many, like, things to say about how you live your life and blah, 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 blah. But it takes courage to live your life the way you want to.
Mm-hmm. And strong. I'll also add just strong will to not be dependent on people's opinions, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard, though, because we are, like, I feel like conditioned from a very, like, young age to value following the sword of people's opinions a lot of times. Yeah, it's like, how if a kid is like the class clown, like, the teachers aren't supporting the silliness of them, but at the same time, like, that person, maybe they are silly and they're also smart and all these other things, and, like, you only see them as this one dimension, so all you did was, like, talk badly to them, and they took that in, and they're multifaceted. We don't know what's within that child, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I just think, like, that also takes a lot of courage to face how people are taking you and to really just go, it's about you, not about me. And what's about me is what I choose to accept from you about me.
Yeah, no. And I will also say, to just blocking out people's opinions that don't know you or that don't value you, or like completely strangers. Like, we're on the internet and some random person from, I don't know, Missouri says we suck. All right, cool.
Like, who cares?
All right, cool.
Get on a mic, bro. Make a better podcast, and who cares?
Try it. Oh, I was gonna say, versus like getting someone you look up to and saying, hey, you could, and it's probably not even like saying it in a bad way, but just hearing their criticism for what it is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I've also had that where I've had to do that with people I look up to too, though. Like, sometimes people who you look up to don't always get it right when they're giving you advice, because they also don't live your life. Like, if it strikes a chord with you, you should listen to it, you should accept it, you should take it in for what it is. But, have your own self-filter, like, to a certain degree. Like, take it in and where it needs to be taken in, but, like, at the end of the day, like, you're the only one who can sit with you. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, with the book club, we were actually saying something along the lines of, like, you kind of need to have your own moral compass versus what everyone else thinks does.
Yeah.
So, I want to flip the script just for a little bit. What do you think? Have you ever been petrified with fear? Because I know I have one story in, that comes to mind with the opposite of courage. And there's only been one time in my life that I can truly think that I was just petrified with fear, even though it's a silly example. Well, not really silly, but it was, I was, I don't know, in elementary school, and I was playing baseball. And this was during a game. Like, people were watching, it's an actual game. And the pitcher, he throws it, and the ball's coming towards my head or something. Like, it was about to hit me. It misses me because I duck or whatever.
Ooh.
But after that, I didn't swing at all because I was just afraid that ball was going to hit me. That's only real time I can currently think of where I've literally just been petrified, where I'm like, I'm too scared to move.
So to say, I don't know, Julian, you're like one of those rare breeds. A lot of things don't scare you. So,
I am the boogeyman for most people.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, no, that is And again, that was I couldn't have been no more than like 11 at the time. So
Oh
if I think
wow.
of a more, oh well, not petrified with fear, but I do know there's fear around me. Like living in Atlanta, um,
Mm.
I have a dash. I just recently got a dash cam ish, and the reason being is because people are always like driving so close to me, and
Yeah.
I'm like, one of these days, my luck's going. Like I've had many close calls,
Yeah.
um, but I'm like, one of these days, my luck is going to run out, and someone's going to rear-end me or like slam into me, or
I
I
be
can't
feeling like
stop
that
fast
too.
enough. So I'm like,
Mhm.
the fear of that is the reason why I got a dash cam, just for the precaution of, all right, if this does happen, at least I have myself, I have something to kind of fall back on. Like, hey, this is what happened. I'm not at fault. You can see this. So with my fear, I kind of try to, what's the word I'm plan for it, I guess, for like certain things like
Yeah.
that. Mm-hmm.
No, that's so real because okay, I was thinking so like I have a big thing against storms. Like I hate thunderstorms. I hate any sort of thing like that. Like we had those tornado warnings the other day and I was
Mm-hmm.
kind of freaked out, but I have been also doing that where you kind of have to like, you really do have to like face your fear, just be like, okay, well, if it does happen, am I prepared for it? And I realized I didn't have like a first aid kit and like all this other stuff. And I was like, well, of course I'm terrified. I don't have a first aid kit or a power bank or like any of the stuff that I need to have if something were to happen to me. Like, how the heck am I supposed to get through anything? So, like, I was just like, okay, instead of like being scared about it and like not doing anything, I tried to channel it into like actually preparing and being like,
Mm.
okay, let me like now I have a first aid kit. Came in handy the other day with someone in the household got a second-degree burn. So and then and then I got a power bank, which also ended up helpful because there was a block, like the block for my charger
Mm.
freaking stopped working, and I thought my charger had stopped working, but because I bought the power bank was able to charge my phone, and we were able to figure out like it's just a power bank. So I was like, yeah, actually these things ended up coming in handy even outside of like emergencies. So I think that makes sense to me. Also
Yeah.
like I also like not as like funny or like common I guess or whatever was I had a really big fear about my future like when
Mm.
stuff was going on with my dad cuz like it really stopped me in my track. I'm very used to like go doing and it slowed me down immensely and I was just sitting here like is this going to be the rest of my life? Like how long is it going to be like this? And that was really for me like slowing down. I didn't realize how much like slowing myself down scared me.
Mm.
Like cuz I do think I'm like a very like forward moving person. And so just not having like and next I'll do this and next I'm going to go do this and all this other stuff and then it's like, "Oh no. Next I need to do this one thing." But it's going to take me 2 weeks to do this one thing. So I'm going to have to just sit through this thing that's happening right now. And then I was finding out 2 weeks was like, it's going to take a couple months. And a couple months is coming, like, maybe it's going to take a year. And I was just like, I'm going to have to put my whole life on hold. Like, I couldn't even think. Like, I have never been in a space where I didn't at least have, like, an idea of like how I was moving, and that scared me like a lot. It scared me a
Mm.
lot. So I would say, yeah, that was definitely like my moment. But what helped me with that was just like your support system, like having a support system and like also leaning on them and just being like, hey, like I'm feeling like I can't take this on. And I was ultimately right. Like sometimes your fear is correct. Like no, you're not able to do all those things yourself. And now like where are you going to get that support from? And if you need support, seek it. Like I
Yeah.
think some people are and they don't even realize it like terrified of like asking for help. but you can't
No.
do everything yourself.
That is true. That is 100% true. And
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where my courage comes from, actually. One is from
Mhm.
learning from other people and like hearing things like that. Is like, oh, if you need hope, just ask for it, or don't be like you know the stories are like, yeah, ask for help or say something if you or just do it. So I think from hearing so many of those stories, and I'm like, well, I've learned from them is like it's just easy. Like you save yourself a headache, time and a headache, being up front first. That way, you kind of
Yeah.
know, and that way you can kind of plan around it. There was another thought that I had about just where I think my courage comes from, or just because I would also do this. Like slowing down, and taking a breath is actually what I kind of need to do whatever courageous thing that I like. I slow down, I think about it. I'm like, all right, I wait. Ooh, I weigh my options and I determine if that's what I want to do or if there's an alternative or anything. And the reason why I said ooh is because I was just thinking about the whole car loan situation at the very beginning of it, right?
Yeah.
Because I knew that's a big deal by itself, but I did think about everything that the positive and the negative of it. Like, all right, if this goes well, great. I can be like a story is like, hey, you actually can trust people, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
You can be the like because I think I actually do think the most courageous thing that I do on a regular basis is try to be the change that I want to see in the world.
Yeah.
But and so with that, I'm like, all right, cool. I signed this cosign. I have a positive story with this. It won't and everything's squared away nice with a nice bow. But I also did think of like, all right, if this goes wrong, what are the outcomes? Like, all right, uh, people are going people are going to say whatever about me. They're gonna say it was a bad whatever. They're
Yeah.
gonna make fun of me, and I'm like, is this worth it? And I'm like, let's do it. Unfortunately,
Right.
it ended up in the bad situation, but I was truly planning on. I was hoping for the good, but plan for the bad too.
No, but I feel like that definitely ties into exactly what I was thinking about. Like sometimes, having the courage to know that like maybe your fears were right. Like, and also just kind of taking what comes with that too is also really hard. Like there's so much like shame, like really like shame and guilt and all these things that people don't want to like feel, and you have to have enough courage to really just kind of feel all of that and really sit
Hmm.
in it, you know what I mean? And really just kind of be like, hey, like I'm feeling this way, but that doesn't mean that is who I am all the time. I think like trying to phase in and out of that while also being very like, okay, I got to own up. This is what happened in this moment, you know? Like
Yeah.
and it's like it is what it is. I can't take it back now.
No,
Like,
that
and
is
I
that
think
is true.
I think that fear of shame, like people have a lot of that. Like the doubling down is like, whew, friend, we don't got to do that. Like sometimes we could just have the courage to have some shame, to feel guilty about some stuff. Sometimes we're wrong. Like
Hmm. Yeah.
listen, sometimes I'm wrong, and I have to feel some shame and some guilt about that, and
Mm,
I just have to keep it pushing. Like ooh, because
that's
that
true.
I was feeling like that with the breakup. Because some
Mm,
people definitely were like, you could have done that earlier, or I already knew that was coming. I was just like, okay.
mm.
Okay. it was
No.
it was really wild. It was really wild, and you really never know who it all is gonna come from either.
It's gonna
That's the
be a
other
surprise.
problem.
It's gonna be a
You
surprise for
like people who
sure.
I didn't even think was gonna say nothing to me said something to me. I was like, oh, you too in the back.
In the back, no.
You
No,
also
that's
had something to
actually.
say. The peanut gallery is up. The mic was hot.
That is so funny. But no, you said that in about taking shame and accountability. First, my sister says I need more shame in me. Like I just be saying doing a lot of things. But the the other thing is with just taking accountability. You know about one of my tattoos is that it actually means striving for balance and taking accountability, and I think that's really important um, for having courage. Just so
Yeah.
whatever you do, you have to own up to it. Whether it goes your way, doesn't go your way, someone feels a type of way, you have to own up to it. And I also wanted to just bring up, just with that, it's just how I move and make decisions because I know something that's in the back of my mind is like how other people are going to perceive this, and
Yeah.
I'm working on that. But I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, like you were saying, it's me. So
Yeah.
case in point, there's a friend of mine that as of right now, I'm like, I don't want to deal with you and everything.
Yeah.
But I'm like hearing more of their backstory and upbringing, just what's going on in their life. I'm like, okay, now I can more see where you're coming from. So I'm like, all right, maybe I will extend a friendship again. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
but going back and forth, like, are you friends? Are you not friends? Or I'm like, it doesn't matter. Whatever I do is whatever I do. So that's something that's just in the back of my mind for sure.
I totally understand like what you're saying with that one because I mean, I also had that too where I had kind of like a friend breakup and we were just not on the same page like fundamentally as people. And I think
Mm.
like sometimes you also have to face the fear of like what if the person that you really care about is just not on the same page as you, and that's scary. Like that's really scary cuz you built all this relationship up like honestly it's hard. It's hard. And but fear can stop you from enjoying all the things that it means to be a human being. You know what I mean? We're meant to fail. We're meant to fail. We're also meant to strive and, get some stuff right. And it's like, hey, listen, you never gonna know how you're wrong or how you're right until you at least try it. So,
That is
and
so
honestly,
true.
I've seen people be stuck in like that part of like, oh my gosh, but if I do this, I'm gonna feel like this, but if I do that, I'm gonna feel like that. Sometimes you just gotta do the thing.
Mm.
You gotta do the thing, feel the feelings, and then be like, okay, I'm never doing that again. Like
Learn, and
sometimes
don't
it's
forget
like
to learn from it.
and learn. Yes, that's true. And learn your lessons. And learn your lessons. But because some people will do the thing and then be like, oh, that's what it felt like, and then just keep doing it. It's like, listen, now we're just having familiarity with something instead of like really sitting back and reflecting and like thinking about it or whatever. But I feel like, hey, even that I honestly feel like is a part of the process. Sometimes you're going to get it wrong multiple times. Multiple times. Like, I think, and that's also okay. That's also totally fine. Because sometimes, some challenges, lessons in your life take you a little harder, a little longer to learn than other ones. We're not all built the same. We don't all have the same lessons to learn in life. And the lesson that you have to learn is not the same lesson that other people have. Me, I am a target for pyramid schemes. This is unfortunately one of my little loops. Okay, I did also have another potential pyramid scheme pop up again. But I didn't ask for it. It wasn't like I was looking for it. So I want to ask me about it. And I already knew what it sounded like, but I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll go to one of these things. And I'm like, please, I'm too nice. And it's okay. And that's why I always end up at the pyramid scheme meetings at least once. At least.
At least you know. All right, this is a pyramid scheme. I gotta get out of here. No
I'm gonna
scams.
get out of there, but I know what it is, so I'm not going to participate. But I just can't help it. Like I'm like, the people. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Total tangent. The people who are in pyramid schemes are just so sweet sometimes. Like, I honestly think they genuinely like I feel like the people I meet are the people who like met the original scammers and weren't like, whoa, you're grifty. They were just like, oh my gosh, like I believe everything they're saying. And then I get like the doe-eyed people. They're like, oh, okay, like
Mm.
it's so good and like I'm in this thing and da da da, and I'm like, wow, they sound so nice and they're so nice and this is great. And then you get in there and the person running that thing, you're like, grift,
Mm.
grift. The griftometer going crazy. I'm like, if I ever catch you on the street, I would run.
Yeah, no. There was definitely a time in my life where scams were coming at me left, right, and center.
Oh my gosh.
Left, right, and center.
And that's another thing. People will tell you, like, scams are common. And people get scammed all the time. Like, I had a friend who was also telling me that they went through a scam. And I was like, girl, don't even worry about it. I've been scammed like 5 times. like, we're not going to be out here feeling shame about things that people go through all the time. They just don't like talking about it. It's kind of embarrassing to be scammed. It's really embarrassing.
But I being scammed, I'm like, I can see how people fall for it because it's so different seeing it when you tell the story. It's like, oh, in hindsight, yeah, but when you're in a situation, you don't see it. You don't. Yeah, so.
Like the average everyday person is kind of trusting. Like they don't realize it, but like everybody's a little. You have to be a little trusting to kind of like get through life. Like that also takes courage in and of itself. Just saying, but like you do have to be a level of trusting to be able to like build community and like make friends and all these other stuff. And scammers prey on that kind of stuff. They prey on that little bit of trust that you try to give people, just to see if something is even like worth it, because you never know, like things could go well. Like they leverage that trust and that hope that you lead into, to really help fuel courage. Because I think those are the other two things you really need: trust and hope to get to courage. And sometimes your trust and hope gets attacked. So.
All right. I know our time is getting closer to this hour mark. I have no idea, but I have 2 more questions. I'm gonna leave it to you of which one you want to answer, right? And what is the most courageous thing that happened in the world, in history, or do you want to go with what's the downside of having courage?
Because I'm really bad at world history, I think I'll do the second one.
I'm like, I don't know which one I'm gonna think of, but I will think of something real fast.
Is there a bad side to having courage? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. MAGA. Anyways. Pedophiles. MAGA. Like, some of you have a lot of audacity. That's all I gotta say about that one. Really? And the mic was hot. I had to say it. And I think I found the perfect thing, and I think I'll let the case rest there.
No, I think you're right. I don't. Yeah, I don't even need to elaborate that. Just having you said
it's when it gets audacious.
The audacity to think everything is supposed to go your way. I don't know if that's courage, but it's just like just.
I mean, I think people should have a good level of like, honestly, delusional-ish confidence in themselves. Like, yeah, things are supposed to go my way. What I don't understand is it's supposed to go your way despite ruining people's livelihoods, loss of life, loss of your home, loss of other people's dignity. I'll never stand for that.
Yeah, no,
crazy. Absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, yes, the audacity, and be something that Xavier was that man's best friend. He was like being loud and wrong, and not learning. I think those are the downsides.
And not learning.
Having too much courage, and I guess I will say putting yourself in dangerous situations. Now that I think about it, because I'm thinking about like. A hero complex, and let's say burning building, right? And you're not trained, building's on fire, and you run back.
And they always tell you not to do that. They always tell you not to do that.
I actually learned that they, I think the fire department or something asked like movies to stop showing that because to kind of prevent that, because it's like, yes, it's, you know, nice and everything that you want to help a situation, but if you don't have the skills or the abilities to help, you're actually just making it a bigger burden for everyone else.
Right. Have the courage to assess whether you're being helpful or being harmful in the long term. So, and it's like there's some things that we just all know should fundamentally not be done. Don't have the courage to do things that you know ain't right. And, like, just bottom line, absolutely insane behavior. Like when that man was like eating people's faces in Hawaii or something. Why are you doing that? Don't have the courage to do that. Don't have the courage to do that. Don't eat people's faces, please.
Don't be stupid.
What's wrong with you?
Don't have. Well,
just have common sense.
Yeah, I'm like, sometimes you do need a little bit of stupidity just to be some. But again, don't put yourself in harm's way. Don't be a harm. Don't be a burden.
Listen,
but
I love delusion without the lack of common sense.
Yeah, no. But again, it's a fine balance between everything that we said today. But
yeah.
So with that being said, the floor is yours. You know, this is your time to say anything you want, you know.
Well, in the coming year, I hope to have another, like, project out myself, and then I'll come back on the podcast and get to talk about it. I think that'd be kind of cool. I will not be discussing it because I'm unperceived, but when it comes out, I'll let you perceive it.
Let's go.
Also, I get to do the thing. Julian told me I do a thing. So.
Yeah, no, you get a thing, I get a thing because it's the last episode, but no, you get a thing.
So my thing is the Nike phrase, just do it. Because 9 times out of 10, the just do it that people are talking about is like, they want to play on some swings. They want to skip work, color, or just take a nap. Just do it. Who cares? Why is capitalism stopping you from taking a nap? You deserve sleep.
I 100% agree with that.
I believe it. Just do it for the silly and loving vibes. I never support the just do it for you hateful people that just want to be out here doing hate crime. You better not. Just don't do it. Be inside. Stay away from us. That's it.
All right, I like it. No, and then my thing is actually a very special quote that I have, because it's actually the very first quote I ever collected. It's actually on my wall back home. So this is the very first quote, and I'm like, this fits really well. That's the only reason why I want to tie it along with yours too. It's actually a scripture from the Bible. It's Timothy 4:12. Don't let anyone look down on you because you're young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in life, and in love.
That's a beautiful one.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's my very first quote on my wall. So, and I hope I embody that as well. But, you know, with that said, don't forget to ask yourself, ask others, and never stop asking questions. See ya.
Bye.
Ready on the stump? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. I am somebody. I am somebody. I may be poor. But I am somebody. I may be young. But I am somebody. I may be on welfare. But I am somebody. I may be small, but I am somebody. I may make a mistake, but I am somebody. My clothes are different. My face is different. My hair is different. But I am somebody. I am black, brown, white. I speak a different language, but I must be respected, protected, never rejected. I am God's child. I am Give yourself a big hand.